the bookcase. So, it's long story, but I'll try to make it short. Found out WW was having an affair with a business partner back in April. I filed in June. We went to mediation and sept and agreed on all the major points: house, visitation, and debt. WW then comes back to the house in November and says she does not want to get divorced and wants us to work on our I asked if she left other man and she said yes. Now here is where I did everything wrong. I let her move back in. We spend the holidays days as a family. I never pushed for full access of her email or phone. I talk to my attorney and tell him I want to stop the divorce. He tells me, why you don't wait a couple of months and see how things go. Thank God. I try to talk to her about tell her I need her support to get over the pain, and all I get is all you ever want to do is talk about. What she does not know is that she syncs her phone to the cloud and I have access to her account. Last week I looked at her pictures and I see pictures she has taken of other man. When she gets home, I ask her if she saw other man. She gets angry and says no, and I can't keep living like this if you are always going to accuse me of it. I should have just made her leave, but I did not. I decided to put my VAR in her car this past Friday to find out once and for all. When I listened to the recording, I heard her talking to other man and saying that she was angry that I have not stopped the only smart thing I've done, and a lot of I love you baby. I go downstairs, tell her I know she has been lying and that she had to leave. We get into a yelling match and I had to basically push her out the door. When she leaves, I text my attorney to let him know that the R was fake and that we need to go forward with divorce. I go to NC SETA even when she texts me. I text her today to say we need to discuss how we are going to tell D about the divorce. We meet at a coffee shop. She sits down and says nothing for a couple of minutes. I then say, how do you want to tell her? She replies, what do you want to tell her? I said, well, I thought our R was real and have had only 2 days to think about. You on the other hand have had this planned out the whole time. After a little back and forth we agree that we'll try to make D know we love her, that this is not her fault, and we will try to make the adjustment as easy for her as we can. As I was leaving, I ask her was it worth it? She says nothing for a while and then shakes her no. I ask, then why did you do it? She begins to go into her you know that our marriage was bad. I stop her and say, I won't listen to you try to blame the past for your choice to have an affair. I get up and start walking out, her following behind me. As I get into my car she asks if she calls will I pick up. I say if it's about RD or the divorce, then I will speak to her. She says of course that is what I meant. This woman has zero remorse, does not care that she has broken up our family. Some info on the other man, he's married, has 3 kids all under 2. I have not exposed yet. A couple of months back it was because my attorney wants to dispose other man wife, and up till this week because I thought we were trying to I know all wrong. I'm going to ask my attorney that since the mediation paperwork is done, could she back off it if I expose tomorrow? If he said it's signed and no backing off, I will expose to wife and employer. If he said it might be an issue, I would expose after the D is final. I know I did all the wrong things, rug sweep, no boundaries, and I know the best thing is to be rid of this woman, but I won't lie, it still hurts. I have exposed to WW family back in the summer, and all I got was WW needs help. I have not heard from them since, not even a call to see how my D is doing, so I've said screw them. I know I need to expose but want to make sure the mediation papers are binding and can't be changed. To be honest, I do have tiny hope that we can stop this and I hate myself for this. Why should I want to stay with a woman that cheats and even worse, gives me false hope with a fake R and puts me back emotionally where I was back in the summer? D is 8, married for 10 years this past December. The other man is a business partner for her company. The companies are very close and he is in their office almost every day. In the mediation paperwork we agreed to no alimony and no CS. Each parent will pay all child expensive when the child is with them, and we would share all extra, summer camp school stuff, etc. I left a couple of parts of my story out. Back in October, we get into a big fight, a lot of yelling, pushing and shoving. WW scratches my face up pretty good the whole time. I'm yelling stop hitting me. What she did not know was that I had my VAR recording the whole thing. We were loud, that the neighbors call the police. When the police get here, they separate us and ask what is going on. I tell the police we were getting a divorce and that I had recorded the whole fight. The cop listens to the VAR and they take her away for assault. So now she has a case for domestic violence. During the fake R, WW tells me that the OM business partners have found out about the affair and they are suing him because he has given WW money. And they fear that they will lose business with my WW company because of the affair. So, I think the fake R was to get me to stop the affair to help them with their cases. I have the email addresses of her boss, the VP of HR, the OMW email address, phone number and email address. Our talk happens just a couple of hours ago and my head is still spinning. I just put Dee to bed and the moment I left her room the thought of having to have the talk with her has brought me to tears. How can a wife do this to her family? Her mediator did say that it was legally binding if we signed and we both did. It was just waiting for us to go before a judge. I just want my lawyer to confirm it. Just want to say to everyone, exposure is going to happen. I already have the emails written and sitting in my draft folder. I just want to make sure of the timing and cover myself as much as I can. Talked to my lawyer today by phone and filled him in on everything that has happened this past week. He confirmed that the agreement me and WW is binding. The only thing me and WW did not agree on was court costs. She has agreed to cover 30%. My lawyer, of course, want to go to trial to get 100%. No guarantee that I will get it, and if I don't, I'm out all the extra court cost. Does not seem like it's a risk I should take, and I told him so. He did let me know that OM Partners' lawyers had contacted him and they asked if we would give them any evidence. We have to help them in their case. This is very tempting. Could get the exposure to OMW I want and have the other lawyer do it for me. Think we would better believe it coming from a law firm than someone she does not know just sending her an email or calling her out of the blue. When I mentioned exposure to WW job, he said let's wait for the D to be final and then let everyone know. He is going to contact my WW lawyer tomorrow to let her know we want to end this as fast as we can, and he wants me to call him in the afternoon to see where we stand. WW and I have only communicating with text, and only about D Thursday she sends me this. WW, hey, I want to pick up D from daycare this evening, okay? Also, I told her a while back that I would take her to the Valentine's dance tomorrow, and I still do. Me, we already have plans for tonight, but you can call her tonight and let her know about the dance, or I can tell her. WW, until this divorce finalized, we need to set up a schedule. You cannot keep her from me. Me, I'm not keeping her from you. I did not hear from you and I made plans for me and D. If you wanted to, you could have called and let me know. WW, I'm calling her at 6 today. I'm picking her up at 5 tomorrow. Before anyone asks, exposure is happening this Thursday. I'm dealing with some work issues I had to deal with, and to be honest, I just need a couple of days to get myself mentally ready for it. So, as I said before, we are supposed to tell D about the divorce. We left it as this weekend, but now I see we did not set when. As of now, I have not heard anything back from WW. Right now, I'm just torn apart. I can accept that the M is over, but the hurt is just so intense. I know I have to let her go, but the nagging of why she did this is still haunting me. So, WW finally got back to me. She asked when I want to tell D. I said now. She then goes on to say she wants to do it in a public place because she does not want to be along with me. I tell her that I want my D to find out that what she sees as her family is over in her home. WW then says, you have to stop thinking you are primary, and she now has 2 homes. I also want to take her to the apartment to show her new room. I tell her I never thought I had primary and tell her I wish you would stop thinking she will be fine. This is what she has kept saying since D-Day. I also don't think showing her your apartment on the same day we tell her this is a good idea. WW then says, her feeling safe is going to be us being civil and not angry with each other. I'm willing to come to the house, but I want to take her to the apartment after. You can come also. I reply, I'm done. I want to tell D in the only home she has known. Let me know what time you will be here and I can meet you outside to discuss what we will tell her. No reply after that. What is wrong with this woman? An update. This past set, we told D about the divorce. To see the fear in my little girl's eyes destroyed me. We comfort her as much as we could. I gave her a hug, and when her head was in my chest, I could not hold back the tears. I looked up at my WW and she did not have even one tear coming down. This morning I had all my expose email up on my screen and I must have stared at that send button for an hour, and then I said screw her, and pressed the button. Unfortunately, the OMW email address must have been old because it bounced back. I printed the email and a couple copies of some of the pics and went to the post office and mailed it to OMW. I made sure to have it sent restricted delivery, meaning she is the only one who can sign for it. ETA for her getting it is tomorrow. I sent emails to WW aunt, sister-in-law, best friend, and her job. For her job, I sent it her director and CC the VP of HR and the CEO of the company. So far, I have not heard anything from anyone, so I guess it's wait and see. So, it's the end of the day and I have not heard back from anyone. Don't care about her family or friend, but was hoping something would have happened at her job. STBX has texted a couple of times to discuss visitation but has said nothing about be talked to about my email. So of course, my head is spinning with are they just going to ignore it as just crazy talk from an angry husband? Or should I just tell myself to calm down and give it time? So, it seems things at her job are in motion. Send STBX an email discussing payment of bills and to tell her to get her stuff and pets from my house. She answers a couple of things but not others. I replied I needed answers to all the items. Her reply, in light of recent developments yesterday, I am discussing some serious issues with my attorney right now. I know it's just scare tactics, but it does have me thinking. So yesterday I get an email from STBX saying that she wanted to come over on Friday to pack her stuff and then said she would remove all of it. She said a friend of ours would let Dee stay the night today and then Friday to Friday and would take Dee to STBX job since they are doing a shoot and they were cast as extras. Background: OM and STBX met at work and spent a lot of time together in her office. I told STBX that since I wanted to have this move as fast as possible, I would let Dee go to the sleepover in her job, but going forward, when it was my time with Dee she would not go back to her office. Well, today I get an email from her stating that she would get her stuff after all our divorce paperwork was signed. I told her fine, she would still need to pay her part of Dee Dee things and that since she changed plans, there was no need for Dee Dee to go to her office and that I would pick up Dee Dee in the morning after the sleepover. Her reply: "That's thoughtful of you that you will intentionally disappoint her." I did not reply to this. I can't take this woman any longer. She puts me in a situation where she wants me to let my Dee Dee be with her in the same place. She carrying on her affair. I say okay at first just to have her get her crap out of my house. She changes plans last minute. And then she tries to guilt me about not letting Dee Dee go to her affair meetup place. Just going to NC on her. Got this other email now. Friend called me after she got your text. I told her that you would be the one who tells Dee Dee she can't go to the photo shoot tomorrow. And round we go. So now I get a text from friend. "Hey, don't you have work tomorrow? We really like Dee Dee company and would love to spend the day with her tomorrow." Now to let everyone know, this friend is Dee Dee's teacher. I have not exposed STBX to her because I wanted to keep my Dee Dee school life away from this as much as I could, but it's clear to me that STBX is talking up a heavy negative campaign against me. I think it's time to let the teacher know the true reason why I'm divorcing STBX. So I had a bad morning. Dee Dee was crying about how she is missing her mom. I give her hugs and tell her that we both love her and that she will see her soon. I try to explain that while things are going to be a little different, that me and her mom will always be here for her. Dee Dee answer: "Yeah, but I won't have you both at the same time." Seeing Dee Dee sad is killing me. It took everything I had to not call STBX and ripping into her. So later in the day I get an email from STBX asking if she could take Dee Dee out for dinner tonight. It is my week and she has already had her midweek time with Dee Dee, so I could just have said no. But after this morning with Dee Dee I could not do it and told her yes. What hurts the most is, while me and Dee Dee are left to pick up the pieces of what used to be our family, STBX is going about her life like everything is great. So, after some thinking, I've decided not to let Dee Dee have dinner with STBX. I was in pain thinking about how Dee Dee was saying she missed her mother this morning, but I must accept that I'm not the one who is the cause of this hurt. I also see now that Dee Dee has to get used to what her new life will be like. Can't have STBX change schedules at last minute whenever she wants. Not good for Dee Dee. Maybe down the road we might get to a point where we can talk about extra time here and there for special times, but right now, it's not doable. Well, just back. Told STBX that after thinking about it, Dee Dee needs structure in what is her new life, so I changed my mind about letting her have dinner with you. She just said okay and walked away. So, I exposed to another one of STBX friends. To be honest, I think her friends all knew and were believe all the lies STBX is saying about me, so I'm sure they have given her the "you need to be happy" speech. So, I have not posted this before. I did put OM on Cheaterville last week, has over 60,000 views so far. Question: I'm thinking of using the anonymous email from the site to send it to STBX and other man. Should I do it or just move on? So STBX week with Dee Dee starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. Just got an email and the only thing it said was I will be at gas station at 5 p.m. to pick up Dee Dee. Now mind you, this will be her first week with Dee Dee, no mention of packing clothes, school bag, toys, nothing. I did not respond and feel it's up to STBX to make sure Dee Dee has what she needs, but I don't want to send Dee Dee off tomorrow without even a change of clothes. I'm just so tired of dealing with all of this. Well, just saw that the friend I emailed yesterday about my STBX affair just unfriended me from Facebook. I guess I was right when I said they knew and were giving STBX the "you need to be happy" speech. So just came back from sending Dee Dee to her week with STBX. This will be the longest I've been apart from Dee Dee since she was born. Don't know how I'm going to make it. I feel empty. So, some updates. STBX called yesterday and said that I had changed the insurance policy and removed her old car but did not add her new one. She got a new lease while she had me in the fake car. I reminded her that our mediation paperwork stated I just had to keep the insurance on her old car until the lease ended in Jan. She ignored this and sent me part of the temp order to show I had to keep the insurance until the divorce was final. She seems to not get that the mediation supersedes the temp order. She goes on to tell me that she talked to her lawyer and that I was in violation and that if I did not put it back, she would get her lawyer to call mine. I said, please do, and that she had till the morning to get new insurance since I would be removing it from mine. I called my lawyer just to make sure I was right and he said I was. Called my insurance company in the morning to remove her new car and I was told that only my car was on the policy. I asked her to check and see if there were any changes in the last week and she told me the only change was when I called to remove STBX old car. I asked her to remove STBX as a user on the policy to stop her from making any future changes and thanked her. Has no idea why STXW would lie about any of this since she had to know I would find out. It's just nuts. Also just came back from my first midweek visit with Dee Dee, took her to dinner and had a great time. But it hurt so much after I dropped her off knowing I would not see her for another 4 days. Don't know how I'm going to be able to do this for the next 5 to 6 years. So, I was able to find OM wife's sister Facebook page and I sent her a message letting her know what was going on and my contact info to give her sister if she wanted to talk to me. Hope she does. So far nothing has happened, that I know of, with STBX job, and none of the friends, family have gotten back to me. This last shot with the sister is the end of me exposing. Now as far as working on me, little things, finally got my garage door that has been broken since now fixed, no more parking outside. STBX came and got her dog, no more walking it. Started going back to the gym. So far since this nightmare has begun, I've lost 40 pounds, most from not eating well, but now I'm doing it right by going to the gym. Have started going out with old friends that I've lost touch with. Bigger thing, got a call from my director today and he informed me that I will be promoted to a new position in the upcoming month. This position will of course pay more, but more importantly will let me be able to telecommute a couple of days a week. So, I guess little by little things are getting better. I'm doing better, been hanging out with friends on the days I don't have my daughter with me. When she is with me, spend time having fun with her and making sure she is keeping up with schoolwork. As far as STBX, screw her. I've gotten to the point that the only time I think about her is to think how fast I can get her out of my life. I am thinking spending time doing things for me has helped a lot. I now see my life is going to be okay, don't get me wrong. I'm still sad thinking about my daughter not having a full family, but I will be the family she needs. On another note, check the OM company website and it is no longer loading any pages. So STBX was supposed to come over today to get some of her stuff and her cat. Sent me an email telling me she would be here around 8. Got another email around 9 telling me she got tied up getting things ready for DD at her apartment and she would not be able to come over tonight but could come in the morning before 9 to get her stuff and the cat. This is now a pattern of hers, makes plans and then changes them last minute and thinks I should just be okay with it and wait around for her. Of course, I'm not going to do this. Only question I have is, should I send her an email telling her sorry I've made plans and will not be here at that time, or just say nothing and not be here when she shows up? So, sent her the email this morning telling her I had plans at that time, and within the hour she replies back with, give me another time since I can't take him when I pick up DD. Pickup of DD is at 5 p.m. today, and me and her will be out most of the day, probably till about 3 or 3:30. I've let STBX that I would not be here all of next week, so she knows she needs to get the cat today. Going to mail her back later and let her know that she can either pick up the cat at 3 or I will be bringing her with me when I drop off DD. I'm not being a jerk and this is not about the cat. I'm just tired of her changing plans at her whim and expecting that I will change my day around to fit her needs. A month later. So here is my problem. STBX has always put her job ahead of our family and it seems to be continuing. Her option of me not having D for 2 weeks is not going to happen, but I feel since we are now 2 single parents, she needs to work things out on her own to make sure her job does not interfere with D's time. I have not emailed her back yet, but the 2 options I can think of are 1. Tell her sorry I've made plans for that week and cannot change them. Concern is she will just leave D with someone else. 2. Tell her that I will take D on the week before the 15th, my scheduled week, and also the week of the 15th and the week after, but give her extra visit that week to see D. Since it would mean more time with D, I'm leaning towards option number 2, but I do not want STBX to continue to make her own plans with the thought that I will change everything to suit her. Oh, an update. Sent soon to be X an email telling her that I was not okay with not having our D for 2 weeks. So I proposed that I take her for my week, the week she had to travel, and that she could have extra midweek visits. I sent this email late on a Friday night. Early Saturday morning I get a reply saying to forget it, that she has made other arrangements. I find it odd that from Friday night to Saturday morning, she was able to change business travel plans. So I remind her that if she is still traveling, that per the agreement, I have first right of refusal and that I'm not refusing to have our D that week. She replies back that she knows what the agreement states and she hoped that I would help her out since one day I would need the same. A little background before the next point. One of the things she wants to take is the home computer. I'm fine with that and tell her that she can have it, but I will need to delete all my stuff and any software that was installed from my job. This was agreed to about 3 months ago. So, I deleted my account and all work software. Problem is I thought I had a copy of all my data on a laptop, but come to find out I did not. Today get an email from STBX stating that she needs a copy of our return from last year and her W-2. Won't get into the fact that she waits for the day before the deadline. So here what comes next. Me, I can't find a paper copy of the return and all I have is the W-2. I will give it to you tonight. X, you have a copy of them on the computer, just print it out. Me, as we agreed to 3 months ago, I've deleted my account and software from the computer. X, so, you are telling me you delete the tax return. I find that hard to believe. How are you going to file your return without them? Me, I'm telling you I delete all my documents. I lost a lot of important things, not just the returns. I filled for an extension with the IRS to give me time to get my paperwork in order. X, I really wish that you weren't so determined to make things as difficult and miserable for me as possible. Wow, she leaves me in RD for over a month last year to have fun with OM. She is the one who is still with OM. She is the one that had me believe in a fake R for over 2 months. But I'm the one who is making her life miserable. Have not answered yet. So as expected, got nothing but the silent treatment from STBX and I gave her the same back. Today I get an email from her stating she needs DSS number today. I ignore the email. An hour later I get a text saying the same thing. I answer and tell her that I'm at work and do not carry DSS card with me. I will call my HR department and see if they have it. I then log into my benefits page and see that the SS hash was there. I wait 3 hours and then send it to her. Do I get a thank you? Nope, just more silence. Called my lawyer today to get a states of the divorce. He was in a trail so I could not talk to him. Feel it's time I light a fire under him to get this done. Nothing major to report, so just updating for those still reading. So, this week went with no major flare-ups. Get a text from STBX this morning stating that D would be at a party until 5. Pickup time for trade-off is 5:30, and if I would mind getting D from the party at 5 instead of 5:30 from our usual place. Now mind you, I have no problem with this since it would mean I would see D a half hour earlier than usual, but it is how she texted to me. STBX, D has been concerned about this all week because of the timing. It would not affect my schedule, but it will affect her if you cannot do it. Of course, I see that she was just trying to get me into an argument, but I did not take the bait. My reply: I will get D at 5 from the party. I get there at 5 and surprised to run into STBX. For some reason I did not think she would be there. Soon as D sees me, she gives me a big hug and I start getting her stuff into the car. Not one word was said between me and STBX. Now here is the part I need to let go of. The area we were in was very close to OM house. When me and D were driving away, I saw that STBX took a turn leading to his house. Now I don't know if she was heading there, but of course that is where my mind went. For the whole ride home, it was on my mind and I could not let it go. I even thought of text her, here is the address to his house if you need to GPS it. Of course I did not do this. I know I need to let this go, but I have to be honest with myself and admit it did bother me. Oh well, one day at a time. Well, in the line of when it rains it pours. Car dies on me this last weekend, and when I took it to the shop was told it would be a $24 fix. No way I was going to spend that kind of money on a 8 years card with 140,000 miles on it. Left the car at the shop and went to the dealer, picked a used car and was sure I would not get the loan since my credit is shot, all because of my pending D. Was truthful with the guy, told him I was in the middle of a D and that my credit was shot. He said he was only a year out of his D and would try the best he could to help me out. End of night, got rid of piece of crap car. New car is in the garage and I got a very low note on it. Best part, STBX was not involved. I had a problem, took care of it and moved on. I guess today was not that bad. So a while after all this started, decided I would join meetup groups just to get out of the house to do stuff and meet new people. A couple of weeks ago I get an email from a woman in one of the meetup groups that happened to be from my home state, just to say she saw I was from the same state as her and just wanted to say hi. We start sending email back and forth and we find out that we lived in the building right next to each other growing up. We start also find out that we now live only 10 minutes from each other. What are the odds? So, email leads to texting and then phone calls. One call lasted over 4 hours. We both agree it would be nice to meet for a drink or dinner sometime, but she was going to Vegas this week, so we decide to meet on the 12th. This past Saturday night we talk on the phone for a bit. In this call I tell her what's going on in my life, going through a D, papers are filed. STBX and I do not speak unless it's about our daughter, etc. etc. Made it clear that there is zero chance of us are, but that I'm not looking to start a new relationship at the moment. She says she understands since she went through a D years ago and knows how it is. Sunday morning get a text from her saying she did not want to wait till the 12th to meet up and if I had time, would I have dinner with her that night. I said sure, have to drop off my D to the STBX at 5 and should be free after 6. So we set up a meeting at a Cuban restaurant for 6:30. We get to the restaurant and just start enjoying our meals and talking. Then the waitress comes to the table and says sorry to interrupt, but we are closing in 10 minutes. I look up and see we are the only ones left and that we have been talking for almost 3 hours. Pay the check, walk to my car and we get in, talk for about another hour in the car, kiss goodnight, walk her to her car and we both drive away. Now I'm not looking to jump into anything right away and I made sure to let her know this, but it was sure nice to spend time with a woman and forget about my issue for one night. Oh, on a side note, when I dropped off my D to STBX, I looked over at her and she was wearing my college t-shirt that I got her from one of the last trips we made home and visited my old campus. I did not mention anything about it, gave D a hug and just got back in my car and drove away. One other thing, today is STBX's birthday. She has not and will not hear a peep from me. So, I'm beginning to think STBX is running into money issues. We have a tax bill that has to be paid on the 15th of every month. Last month STBX did not put in her half into the shared account, making the account become overdrawn. I sent her an email to let her know that due to her not putting in the money, the account was now overdrawn and that she needed to deposit her half of the tax bill and pay the overdraft fees. She made the deposit the next day. This month the same thing happened, so I sent her the same email I did last month. As of today, she has not made a deposit into the account or sent me a reply to my email. We have to pay our D daycare every week. What we do is the week either of us have our D, that parent pays the daycare. Daycare must be paid by WEDS or a $25 late fee gets charged. This is STBX week, so it's her turn to pay. Yesterday I picked D up from daycare since it was my day for our midweek visit. I check the account and see that STBX has not paid for the week. When I get D in the car and start driving, she says, "Daddy, Mommy had to go to court on her birthday. STBX birthday was this past Monday." I say, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, she had to go because of something about her car insurance." To make D not worry, I tell her I'm sure it was something small or a mistake. What I really think the case is, since I removed STBX from my policy, I think she either has not gotten insurance or has missed payments. So, get an email today from STBX telling me that she signed up RD for a kids' divorce group at church, but the thing is the group meets on Tuesday and she, STBX, has signed up for consoling. She said this in the past, so not sure if it's true. Hope it is, on the same day, and was wonder if I would mind taking D to her group and she would pick her up at the end. I replied, "I do not have an issue taking her the weeks she is with you, but you should have told me prior to signing her up for this class. Going forward, anything involving D should be discussed by both parents. Thank you." Her reply, "It was nothing intentional. I had heard that the class filled up and closed once it reached capacity. I wanted to go ahead and sign her up to reserve her a spot. She does not know about it yet, as I was waiting to tell you about it first. I would have never actually taken her to the class prior to you knowing. If you don't think it's a good idea, let me know. I do think it would be good for her though, and I appreciate you being able to get her there on the Tuesdays during the weeks that I have her." No reply forms me. This is the first time she has answered me in this tone, no yelling or blame shifting. I think she finally is beginning to see that she will need to respect me as we go forward as co-parents. So, me and new friend are getting along good. She had to travel for business this week and we have spent a lot of the week texting each other. She even mentioned she got something for me and is excited to come back and see me. Now here is my problem. I like her and like the time I'm spending with her, but for some reason I have the nagging thought, am I going to fast? Do I really like her, or do I like the positive attention I'm getting from a woman? Now, before anyone asks, there is zero chance of me and STBX are, so that is not an issue, and like I posted before, I told new friend my situation on our first meeting. We have only been talking for about a month, so maybe I'm just overthinking this and I should just let things happen and enjoy our time together. Strange being back in the dating world after almost 15 years. So, send STBX an email reminding her of all the bills she has not paid, and this is the reply I got back. "When you make decisions with intent to do damage to me, such as neglecting to tell me the date that you were going to cancel the car insurance, you need to consider how this financially impacts you. A simple email or text telling me the date that the insurance would no longer be effective was all that you needed to do. When I am forced to pay $1,000 out of pocket for impound fees, tag cancellation fees, court fees, and fine fees, it affects things. But congratulations, you wanted to hit me financially, you won. I hope that gives you the victory you were looking for and makes you happy." My reply, "Sorry you feel that way. Let me know when you will make the deposit to pay for the outstanding shared bills." Amazing, she is still the victim and everything is my fault. So just got this email. I'll pick up D at daycare on Friday. Since I will have her for 3 consecutive weekends, let me know if you would like to see her in addition to the regular Wednesday night. I have no issue with that. It may be good for her. My simple reply, I would like that. Thank you. First email, thank you for being understand and driving and picking up D at church on my weeks. Second email, you ruined my life, you win. Third, you can have extra visit days. All this in a span of a day, she really needs help. Update. So, send STBX my monthly email letting her she has not paid the shared bills, and this is the reply I got back. I hear you. Yes, I know I owe daycare and the taxes. It's going to have to wait until Friday. I hope that one day you will be able to forgive me. To be able to actually have a conversation with me about D8 to my face because you realize it's in her best interests. And perhaps you cannot discuss her as if she is a business item. I am sorry for what I did. I truly am. And like I said, I do hope that one day you would be able to forgive me. I know your heart and I know what it's capable of. It is much larger than you give it credit for. What the hell? I sent no reply, but what was going through my mind was no, what's best for D8 is to have a mother who is not a cheat and has no remorse for destroying the family of 4 kids and 2 BS. And Friday came and went and she has not paid the bills. Oh well, no need to think of it. Divorce is final on end of June. Me and D8 are going to visit family on the 4th weekend. 600-mile road trip, wish me luck. Almost a year later, divorce was finalized on last July. I went back home with D8 for a 4th of July vacation. 13 hours in a car with a D8. Anyway, I was driving around on the morning of July 2nd and while at a light I checked the courthouse webpage and found out I was divorced since the prior day. Kind of strange, had no feeling of joy, just more of a guess I'm single now. Since then, life has moved on. X is still seeing herself as the victim and that I'm out to get her. I ignore her in anything that does not involve my D8. Me and my lady friend are doing good. She even helped me at Christmas with shopping for D8. On a bad note, X did not pay the half of the debt she owed. All the debt was in my name and I had to file for bankruptcy. I could have fought the X in court, but at the end of the day it would have been more legal fees that I could not afford. Sucks to take the hit, but I'm sure I'll climb out of it and have a clean start. Life is not great, but it is good and getting better. Like comment, OP solved the problem and is moving on. It takes time to build his life back, but he will get there one day.